This is a good practice.
It's coming for all that hunting man the world shall brothers be It does feel like a repeated little bit, doesn't it? It's like the tune makes you.
But last night you said we would have to practice it.
You what?
Practice it.
Yes. Well, you're good. Look is good.
Thanks for it to Scotland.
If you're not part of Oxford,
Yeah, I am.
Yeah, man, we're all part of the 99%. Apart from that
I didn't even know. I'm standing, I'm speaking brothers in arms.
If we're out tonight, today,
if we're out, there's no eviction.
there's no eviction.
So there's no.
We can do it under our own steam, no pressure. You know,
So by 5 o'clock tonight, we gave assurances that the occupations were tense.
So there's no need for me to get up.
The judge announced that she implied that effectively she recognised the injustices of capitalism. It was just, you have to be teased out.
just slightly beneath the surface, yeah.
I don't know her name. It was a lady.
Yeah.
So as a result, down to Willie.
I think she was understanding about the problems that we faced in St Andrews Square and perhaps sympathetic to the fact that we wanted to continue our campaign, but also wanted to be clear that we were going to move out today, which is our choice, and that's what we're going to do, but continue the movement elsewhere.
Do you have any other venues in mind for Occupy Edinburgh?
Well, for Occupy Edinburgh, the whole of Edinburgh is a potential place for occupying, so can't say for sure at the moment, but yeah, anywhere and everywhere.
So you're happy to go today by 5 o'clock?
Yes, I mean that's what we decided. I mean it's regrettable that the businesses around St Andrews Square felt that they needed to stifle our right to protest in the way they have done, but in the end we're happy to continue the campaign elsewhere, online, occupyedinburgh.org, and anywhere else we might show up. We will be back at St Andrews Square, of course, doing the campaigning during the daytime, just not with a permanent presence there.
And what about Essential Edinburgh? Do you think they've been quite fair with you or not?
No, I wouldn't go that far. I mean, in the end, once they've seen that we're prepared to move on, then they've climbed down a bit from their sort of legal posturing. But in the end, they are representing the very businesses that we're critical of, and they are seeking to stop us from voicing our opinions and raising awareness about the faults in the financial system that bring them the profits that should be going to the people of Scotland.
So do you think today has been a victory?
I think it has, yeah. I think we're going under our own terms, again, publicly to the movement, and our campaign's going to continue. You get that.
£1 million according to the politicians, and that will be really nice, but it isn't nice.
So who's won here? Is it? So who's won here? Is it Occupy Edinburgh or is it Essential Edinburgh?
I don't think it's been seen like that. I think that we've taken the moral high ground. We've not needed it. And we wanted to make an arrangement for Essential that we would indicate without an eviction. They have felt necessary to go ahead with that, but the sheriff today recognised that what we were saying and what we said the truth was that we would vacate that square and leave it in good order as well, and that's essential.
Wasn't it your intention to stay in the square much more permanently? You are the today that wasn't really
No, we understand property laws. We understand that the rich own the city. And therefore, where we have protests, we understand it as an imbalance there. They want to privatise our cities. They want to make every space so that they can control it. The people of Edinburgh to recognise that this process is on. And we've just teased out a little bit of that. That what we think is public ground and nice grass and flowers, whatever, is actually owned by the Royal Bank of Scotland and by the other people. Essential Edinburgh is owned and run on their behalf. If you look at the board that make up Essential Edinburgh, it is the people that we stand against. They are the 1% who have tried to evict us. We are going to continue the protests and the occupation. Occupy Edinburgh, the Occupy movement is not gone away. This is just a different phase.
How do you think the occupation has been viewed by the members of the public?
I think that we still have a tremendous support. People who are facing hardship will recognise that within our movement, we want something done about that. We do not want the rich to get richer and the poor to get poorer. We want some action now, real action by government. And the problem is, who is standing against those people, that 1%? Is it the politicians? Well, they all seem to be in the same camp.
But do you think members of the public think that you've achieved that?
I think that people over the next months, when we work hard to adjust any perception that we are some other kind of movement than the one that they can support, we want them to support. We believe in the 99%. Therefore, we've planned, organised and talked about what we do into the spring and into the summer. We are going to be a movement that people are going to be able to support in the coming months and over the years.
Perhaps attach themselves to Occupy Edinburgh that there's been problems with social behaviour and vandalism in the square. Has that damaged what the point of your time?
I think what's happened is that we didn't understand at the beginning that there's a huge homeless problem that exists in Edinburgh. But we are passionate that we want something done about that as well. We saw people who were just like you and I that ended up being homeless. If you listen to people's stories, right? People who are in that camp today, they were people with families, who had jobs, who had ambitions, and they were supported. What actually we need to do is to deal with homeless, so that the camp or protest doesn't need to care for homeless people that should be getting cared for now. We have to have homes for everybody, not just people who are alcoholic and drug addiction. But that has raised a serious problem that we have in Edinburgh, and we as a movement will not abandon people.
So you're leaving the square now. Where are you going? Will you be setting up camp elsewhere in the city?
We're going to go to a cafe and have some coffee. No, what we're going to do is we're going to continue to make protests. That will be all over the city, right? It won't be by having a tent, but it will be of a vigorous manner. People who think that we were safe when we were corralled in that square are now going to think that we are right in their face. If they think that they have won today, they haven't, because we are going to go and protest where they are. And watch this space.
Followed by the trip here.
By a few days we have surpassed what marks as our 100th day of occupation. We're 101, 102 days of the Occupy. 1, 2. Thank you. Occupy. We are Occupy Edinburgh. But we don't just occupy Edinburgh, do we? No. Many of us are behind the scenes. And for every person that you see camped on this site, there are hundreds more working to link up, to build strategies, and to network and make petitions, create new legislature, and aim for new policies that are going to shape a better world. Occupy is shaped after the Arabian Spring, which is where Spain took this method of the occupation, and therefore creating a new movement throughout the world. Many people have never even heard of the Arabian Spring, and it's not a new concept. It wasn't even Arabia's concept. The CIA published lots of information about this type of movement that the Arabian Spring was taken from. Occupying a square, getting the focus on the people, and this is just the beginning. It's been 3 months to command the attention of celebrities, politicians, and those elites who we're trying to knock down off their ass. We will succeed and we're not going anywhere. So now that we have all eyes drawn to the focus and the causes of why we're here, now we can begin to work and to gain more support. So love and solidarity. I love everybody. Thank you.
Anything else?
Come on, check. Oh. Spot. Yep. It's quite, right. Okay, when people say, what good is it sitting in a park? What good is that? Well, we're not sitting anywhere. We're doing what people have always done when they've seen unfairness, inequality, injustice. We're standing up against it. And we're standing up against it with millions across the world. So we should be proud of what we're doing now. Because that's the only way. I don't care if it's serious or not, I'll just shout. People sometimes think if you just ask nicely, maybe things will get better. But the civil rights movement didn't just ask nicely. They stood up and they gave their lives. And the suffragettes didn't just ask nicely for the vote. They stood up and some of them gave their lives. We haven't had to do that yet. Some of us have caught cold. We've got very tired. But we've not had to do that yet. But we will stand together. And it's not about giving your lives. It's about a united movement standing against the few. Because we are the many. And if we stand together, we are the most powerful force in the world. And we can make a world that acts in the interests of everybody, of the many, and not of the few.
Hey!
Thank you. I just got one announcement to make. And on the 14th of February, which is Valentine's Day, the Scottish Government are going to be hopefully passing the law for same-sex marriages in a religious setting, which straight people in this world have taken for granted for many years. So can you come down and support the LGBT community outside the Scottish Parliament on the 14th of February? I'll be there. I don't know if I'm going to be glammed up. I don't know if I'm going to have my ruby red slippers on, but I shall be there. And yeah, once again, it's an honour to call you comrades, but more so, it's an honour to call you friend.
Hello, folks.
Right, Rahad.
What starts now?
Oh yeah.
Oh, out of here.
We have the world looking at us. We've gave our word. We've said what we're going to do. We should do it, and we should then. It doesn't work. Right?
People's mic. People's mic.
The thing is, let's have a little practice on it, because we always say things and we never do it.
Right, just do a couple of words.
I've got to say that we are going to clear the whole of this site by By 5 o'clock.
By 5 o'clock.
If we can.
If we can.
And if Glenn will let us.
If Glenn will let us.
Well, this is not the end.
This is not the end.
You are going to hear me rant.
You're going to hear me rant.
In very short sections.
Very loudly.
Very loudly.
For a long time coming.
For a long time coming.
Yay!
Yay!
Mic check! Mic check! Just before the hard work begins, between 11 o'clock and 2 o'clock here, there will be lots of Occupy things going on, stalls, street theatre, occupation here, evidently, but lots of that going on. So come down at any time between 11 o'clock and 2 o'clock tomorrow.
Okay.
Immediately and hello lads, good morning lads, what are you doing here lads? Bill?
I'm going home man.
You're going home? Right, so that's record. And
I had some good leads, but everybody's
it's a bit like, you were talking about Pete Nicholson.
No, I was talking about
Pete Symphony.
I was talking to Pete Wiley, I was talking about.
Oh, good ideas.
That easy not a problem.
Six of us are allowed to go into the court, into the public gallery, as well as our two representatives. Yeah, so that's just for starters. If anybody wants to sing a song, by all means do. We've got a Burns song all ready and prepared. This is Burns Day.
I'll do the drums. They get been shy now. Yeah. This is opportunity. Edinburgh's got talent.
As the spring had come, it may, has come, it will for all that not sense and worth or all the earth shall bear the green and all that for all that and all that is coming yet for all that has come to man the world oh, shall brothers be for all that.
Come on, freedom of speech.
Send me a few choices.
Everybody point to the Royal Bank of Scotland. Oh, that's a bank.
That's a
Oh, that will do it. Just take it.
No, this is my property, so it's
Chuck.
You're such a powerful bastard. Yeah, they went through all our bags. They took away else was a penny whistle. It's a subversive instrument.
But they didn't confiscate the hammer? Yeah, well, I will.
You did a good job there, Mal. I'll get you a copy.
Yeah, well,
I promise. You did a good job.
Paper reports that Occupy Edinburgh left yesterday, but the Birmingham takes and lots of junk still there.
Arriving back at St Andrews Square.
Come on and join us. Oh, somebody's bought their present from Jenna.
Still being followed.
Occupy! 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 Occupy your chicken shed! I think your planet is
Right. Alright, you've got loads of things there, man. You've been really bad. I know, I think you did. That's one.
Final verse.
Ah, you see, I've been here every step of the way.
Shall bear the tree and the dawn, for all that and all that, it's coming yet, for all that man to land the world o'er, shall brothers be, for all that and all that, it's coming yet, for all that man to land the world o'er, shall brothers be, for all that.
Come on, Pat, come there. Another verse for Pat. Come on, Alfred. Verse for Pat.
It's coming yet, for all that man to land the world o'er, shall brothers be, for all
Moment of us leaving the square. Hello.
Although we've got a lot to look forward to, so let's keep the spirits up, that's all I'm going to say. Anything else you want to have? Are we something on the microphone?
Go on, officer, pass it on. Go on. Express yourself. Stand close to that.
Express yourself.
It's my privilege to come from the west of Scotland in Glasgow to unite with the East Coast in Edinburgh. For once in the history of Scotland, the West and East have been united and love each other. It can happen, and it has happened. And all I'll say is, it's an honour and a privilege to call you comrades in the movement to change the financial system of these fat cats over there who think it's alright to receive a few million quid bonuses when they mess up a job. If a nurse messes up her job, she will get the sack. The same with a teacher. So let's continue the fight. This is not